Hey guys, this is Alex, and welcome back to the Two Dudes, Brews, and Reviews podcast. Today, Austin and I are talking about A Blemish in the Great Light, the album by the underrated indie rock band Half Moon Run. Aside from discussing the album track by track, we talk about Austin's recent descent into the YouTube conspiracy rabbit hole, and of all things, our thoughts on jello. If you like what you hear, please consider supporting the podcast by subscribing and, if possible, telling your friends about us. With that being said, we hope you enjoy the show.
What's happening, brother?
Well, we are currently going through the cicada apocalypse.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's been exciting.
When I was a kid, it was, but now, as a grown man, I understand why no one likes them.
You're telling me that you don't like when they hitch a ride in your vehicle? Wait, do you drive with the windows down?
This week, I have not because of that exact reason. Like, when they were, bad, a week ago, in the evening and they come out and shit, when the sun's starting to go down, I roll my window down and then I pull it up, halfway to make sure, while I'm sitting stationary, something doesn't fly in here and shit. Nah, bro. I'm going to pass on the cicadas this time around. I'm going to be 39 next time they come around.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to be 39.
I'll be 44. Fuck me. Jesus.
Yeah. We'll be those little kids. You know what I mean? We'll have fucking kids at that point, and they'll be fucking crunching on them and fucking stepping and putting them in jars and shit, and we'll be get that shit away from me. Fucking, no.
We're going to have PTSD after this latest round.
So say, when I was a kid, man, I don't remember them. I remember, just not giving a shit.
Do they affect the entire United States? Or is it,
I think it's mostly, the East Coast. I was gonna say, I don't think it's mostly on this side of the country.
So, some people don't even know what we're talking about.
If they don't know what we're talking about, look it up.
They're pest. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, they don't hurt anything either. They're not, aggressive and, they don't bite, but they're just... Fucking, they look like little demons with wings. They're ugly little bastards.
They're loud and they're stupid.
Yes.
And they'll just run into you.
Fucking, we were at the Reds game. We only saw one because it was downtown Cincy. There's really not, you know what I mean? There's not that many trees around. Fucking, they flew up, just one right to us. Landed at my feet, the top of the bleachers. We were in the very top section. I put it in a peanut shell. I put it underneath the peanut shell. And as soon as I did, it went... Yeah. I was all right.
They're scary,
yeah,
man.
Bro. They're fucking, you touch them, they're yeah, they freak out.
They
man.
fucking talk to you. I don't like that.
They don't fuck around. Fucking scared me. And my brother picked it up like the fucking man he is and fucking tossed it. Tossed it to fucking wind. I was all right.
Besides the cicada apocalypse, anything exciting going on in your life, Austin?
I briefly mentioned to you that I've gone down some weird ass YouTube rabbit holes lately.
Explain.
Bro, you ever heard of the Freemasons, bro?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm fucking scared.
There's a Freemason temple literally 3 minutes away from my house right now.
Less than a mile away.
Mm-hmm. I think I've been in there when I was a kid.
Okay, all right.
I think my grandpa might have been a Freemason. Maybe.
Is your grandpa, does he happen to be an elected official or a...
No.
Okay, all right.
He was a steel worker.
Is he Jay-Z?
I don't think my grandpa is Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is a Freemason.
Is he?
So is Timberlake.
Is it a elite money kind of thing?
Bro.
Maybe my grandpa wasn't one then.
Bro. Dude, I'm serious though. Fucking weird shit. I went down a weird ass rabbit hole on that.
Is this conspiracy type stuff? So
yes. They were showing the Masonic texts and stuff that they read. And I'm nah, this ain't right. These rituals and shit they would do.
Is it as bad as Scientology or something?
It's worse. It's more
worse.
It's
wow.
more fucking satanic, bro. I'm telling you, it's fucking strange.
How much of this do you believe?
Bro, it's kind of weird. Because a part of me, I'm awake, bro. I'm awake. You all are sleeping, bro.
No,
they're leading you like pigs to slaughter, man.
Don't go crazy on me.
But it's just fucking strange, because it's a secret society, so there's a lot of weird, subtle things they do. It was just strange. And Then on top of that, I went like down like more like conspiracy theory rabbit hole stuff. Like, look, I don't fucking bite the fucking apple on all this shit. Like, I ain't drinking the Kool-Aid on all this. But that one specifically, where like I like watched like a couple hours worth of videos, I'm like, bro, it's over, man. Like, we're all gonna die. New World Order, bro. Like, just shit like that. I'm like, that shit freaks me out.
I wasn't expecting this.
I just watched like some weird clips of like elected officials talking and shit, and like they have like these Freudian slips where they say like New World Order. Fucking with me, man. Like, it was just some strange shit that I had been watching recently. I gotta take a break though, like, because I noticed last night, I'm like, bro, this just giving me anxiety, man. I can't be doing this,
dude. It's an out of sight, out of mind thing. You just got to forget about it for a while.
Because you know me, I'm more like I live in the present. Like, I'm trying to be like make conscious decisions all the time. Like, and then like I watch this shit, I'm like, none of it matters, man. Like, none of it matters.
You know what the only solution to this is, right?
Is to join. Okay.
We gotta destroy him from the inside.
We'll have to go.
Yeah.
We'll have to go down there after a podcast one night.
Just knock on the door. Yeah. I don't think I never see any cars at that building.
I don't know. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I've never seen anything happen there. So like I always wonder like if maybe no one even goes to it.
Maybe they all teleport there.
They have like a secret entrance that we don't know about.
Yeah.
Right?
Like a tunnel system or something. What do you think about that?
I think I like it better than the regular version of an old fashioned that we drank.
Yeah, today we're not drinking any craft beer. Well,
not yet.
Got a couple on a backup in the fridge. We are drinking Angry Canadians, which is basically just another term for an old fashioned. We've got Crown Royal Harvest Rye with some Agnostra orange bitters and maple syrup.
It's really good.
I think it's great.
I like the orange. I think that's what's doing it, because usually we use that other stuff. This is all the flavors come together a little bit more, don't you think?
I think the regular bitters kind of like punch you in the face a little bit, and like I don't mind them, but this is more like you said, balanced.
Because like the rye is really dry. I don't know how to unless you've had it. It's just different than like regular whiskey or like a bourbon.
Just got like a spicy afterbite kind of.
Yeah, it's
I like that better.
Kind of tastes like ginger. It's like the ginger ale of whiskeys, brothers. But then the orange helps that. It blends it like together easily.
You're supposed to put orange in like a regular old fashioned, but I've just never done it because like I don't feel like peeling a fruit, putting the rind in there.
We had one at the bar last Saturday.
That's right. We went to the bar together,
and it was excellent. That guy made a really good old fashioned. Although we didn't put rye in it. He kind of talked us out of it, even though we all agreed that we all like rye better, even himself.
I think it was because they only had like top shelf rye, and he's like, you don't want to put this in a mixed drink.
It was either that or bully it. And we were like, we've had bully it too many times. I forget what else. I forget what he put in there. Did he put
It was Woodford.
I was gonna say, did he put Woodford Reserve in it? Because that's what I said the other day, and I'm like, But that was good. It was good. He even like got out a fucking like, what do you call it? Like a fucking like mashed up the fucking cherries and oranges and shit.
Yeah,
and it was really good. What do you call that thing?
Ooh, like a pestle?
Yes, one of the best I've had.
The reason why we chose this is because Half Moon Run, like the topic of today's episode, is from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We couldn't really find any Canadian beers. I mean, like we didn't look that hard. We could have drank Le Fin du Monde again, because
shit.
I thought about bringing it up, but I knew
if you would have said it, I'd be like, yeah, okay.
It's one of the best beers ever.
Any excuse to drink Le Fin du Monde is a good excuse.
But that's the tie-in for the Canadian thing. Even though there's I would say 0 Angry Canadians on this album, except for maybe in a very brief spot.
Possibly.
We'll get to that.
I absolutely love this band. I've talked about them plenty on the podcast before, but I like don't ever be like, hey man, go listen to this shit to anyone. Like I need to like fucking represent them.
It sounds like they kind of need some representation.
They're so small. Like, just for some context today, I while listening and doing my notations, I like looked at their monthly listeners on Spotify. It's 1 million. Just give you like some reference. Like I think Kanye gets like 36 million, and I looked at Radiohead and they get like 12 million. And you got to think like those are like popular bands, and then like you got this band. Pretty small. And like I know for a fact they're like the majority of listeners, it's probably like their more popular songs, because like even listening to the record, you can see like the how many plays each song has had on Spotify. They were all under 1 million. Even some of them only had like 200,000.
I'm not even aware of like what their biggest songs are, to be honest.
Some of their newer like singles are Grow Into Love, and then a couple songs from Dark Eyes, and then Favorite Boy is one of their more popular ones.
Is Call Me in the Afternoon like
Yes.
one of the biggest ones?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
I could see that. Like just from listening to the song. Sounds like a single.
Yeah, exactly.
A good one though.
The old de facto single from Dark Eyes for sure.
So Austin, how did you discover this group?
So when I was in a sophomore in high school, I had a friend named Logan. I haven't talked to him in years, obviously. Like, you only keep so many friends around from high school, and after a while, that shit ends.
You get busy.
Yeah, man. None of my friends that I would hang out with from high school would ever like listen to this shit. They like listen to fucking like NF and fucking G-Eazy and shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck that shit.
Oh no.
Exactly. But he showed me their record Dark Eyes, and I loved it like immediately. He also like was the guy that like got me into anime and shit. But yeah, he showed me this record, and it just stuck around, you know. Like after that, just listened to their other records and shit. Like
So you followed them somewhat.
yeah. Actually, my mother has seen them. I think I said this before, but my mother has seen them live. They were like opening.
Was it a Dave Matthews concert?
Exactly. They weren't opening for them specifically, but I think they were playing at like a small venue, like near their hotel in Montreal, and they got to listen to them. I know my mom liked listening to them, but I don't think my stepdad did. And I think during that show, though, I think they had like a lot of technical difficulties and shit. So like, yeah, but like,
Oh, that happens sometimes.
my mom's seen them live, of course. My mom's a fucking roadie, man. Like,
That's awesome.
it's dope though. Like she can just be like, yeah, I've seen them. She probably wouldn't even know she's seen them, but like, yeah. But she told me. She told me when they went, and I was like, that's fucking. She probably don't even remember. And that's kind of up her alley. I feel like they're like a real jam band, but also like their production is incredible.
They're jammy, but like they're structured, like pretty, like solidly, I'd say.
The instrumentation on all their songs are like pretty clean. Not like clean guitar, but more like everything just seems really crystal clear. And it's kind of really odd for like because we're discussing like this band's really small, but somehow like their production is incredible. Like, and it's really well produced. I just don't understand how they have like
the budget to do it.
I don't understand it.
That was like one of the things I wanted to bring up about A Blemish in the Great Light, because like I noticed that like everything in the mix is so clear, like it's at the right volume, and I was catching new details like every time I listened to it. Like you'd catch like a little atmospheric guitar, way off in the distance,
Like a
or
small
like
little sound effect just littered in between like a bridge or a chorus, shit like that.
like stuff that like wouldn't repeat or whatever.
Exactly.
Which I always enjoy stuff like that. Like, differentiate the verses and the choruses and all that. I guess my relationship with the band, you sent me the link to this album when it came out, which was about 2 years ago, maybe.
Damn, did I really?
You did.
I barely even remember it.
And I remember I told you I didn't like it much, but then I went and listened to their debut album, Dark Eyes, and then like I was immediately like on board. Like, holy fuck.
Dark Eyes is really muddy compared to this record even.
They sound like two different bands, kinda.
Yes.
Because Dark Eyes is like, I mean, no pun intended, dark. It's very dark. And it seems like they channeled a lot of like Radiohead isms on that record. And there was like some other stuff too, like folky, like the 3-part harmonies that they would do, and like electronics and all that. A lot of that's not on this new album.
You don't think so?
Maybe it is, but to a lesser extent. The harmonies are there.
Yes. There's a couple spots in the album where I'm like, star, like, Getter's gonna like this shit because it sounds like Radiohead. There was a couple.
It's a given.
There's a couple spots though where I'm like, I felt like we were on the cusp of going full Radiohead. Then they like tone it back or like lead into like a verse, some shit like that. So hardly recommend records, especially shit you've never heard. So like this shit was kind of a gamble in a way too. I knew there were things you were gonna like, but also I think we're both gonna agree that this shit ain't no masterpiece. But like I feel like there was things that I liked enough to talk about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course.
So, you want to start from the top, or you want to just go around?
I mean, we can like summarize our thoughts a little bit at first, at least.
I want to know your thoughts behind like cause I mean, you said that you didn't like it the first time, and then you went back and listened to that. But like, when you're like listening to this shit, like for the podcast, like, what did you think starting out? Like when you had to put that first listen on?
Well, after you recommended it, after our last podcast, which was on Birdman, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was a strange choice. Like, I'm not going to lie. Because it's like, it's their newest album, but it's like not their most popular one.
I feel like I had talked about Dark Eyes enough, too, where I was like, nah.
Like, we didn't need to do an episode on it, really.
No.
And then later that night, like after we got done recording the podcast, we sat down and you played the track Favorite Boy, which I fell in love with immediately.
Fucking slaps.
That song's awesome. I did come around to this album a little bit. I will say that like there are some like really sweet highlights, and then there are some ones that are like middle of the road to me.
Yeah.
And like I don't know like if you'll feel the same way about some of the tracks that I do. You know, we can get into it.
Yeah, I want to know, like, okay, so we mentioned Favorite Boy. That's like the second song on the record. The first song is Then Again.
I think this is a great track.
It is a good track. The song is kind of like an upbeat take on like a past lover type shit, like lyrically at least. You'll notice like throughout the record, it's a lot of like acoustic, very folksy.
They play up the folk aspect a lot more on this record than I remember on the last two.
Yeah. We should preface that we both have listened to all three of their records in preparation for this specific record. And yes, Dark Eyes, it's like a slow blended shift from like heavy and dark to like light and crisp. The sudden leads on is
it's kind of like a middle ground between those two.
Which also I want to make references to that as well because I love that record as well. But yeah, Then Again is like up tempo. Here's another thing. Don't you feel like you can hear each fucking strum?
Yes.
Like I was gonna say, I can't be the only one that's hearing this shit because it's like so clean.
Well, the song starts with like just the singer and guitar for like the first verse, I'd say. And then we like get the drums that pick up or whatever. And then when it goes into the chorus, these like strings are introduced. And I feel like the strings on this song like really give it a sense of urgency. Like it like really drives the tempo forward because it's got this like dun 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 kind of like rhythm to it. It like picks up the songwriting like another notch from like what it originally was.
Aren't you the one that told me that they just got together
from like a Craigslist ad?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of apparent on Dark Eyes because like their influences were all over the place on that record. And it kind of seems like they've moved towards a more streamlined sound. Like they kind of like
they have found their like, yeah.
You know, on that record, they were doing like soul and folk and electronic, and which I liked a lot, actually. They're more of a unit now than they were on that record.
Because you're the one that told me that. I'm like, I had no fucking clue. I just found them from that dude.
Yeah, so they sounded like strangers that got together and made an album, but like they had natural chemistry.
Yeah, they have like great chemistry. It sucks that this shit gets so buried, like in the plethora of music out there, because this shit's really clean for like a band nowadays.
I feel like they were kind of going for like trying to get that radio hit on this album, because this one's a little bit more radio friendly too.
Yes, I agree.
That's like apparent on all the songs except for two that I can think of very specifically.
Yes.
But this song takes a really interesting turn on the outro. Kind of like a sunny sounding song for like the most of it, and then it takes this like dark turn where like the bass starts picking up and like the strings kind of go into like a minor key, and the ending of the song reminds me of Burn the Witch by Radiohead.
I think I know what that is, and that isn't that off of Moonshaped Pool?
Yeah, it's also the opening track on that record. So
isn't it funny that both of the covers look almost the exact fucking same as well?
The gray color palette and all that. I was thinking the same thing.
They have to pull reference to them because there's too many spots in this record where I'm like, wait.
When their singer is repeating the phrase "together we'll stop them all" at the end, where like all that dramatic instrumentation's coming through, it's fucking sweet. This is a great track.
Dude, I was gonna tell you, I'm gonna wait till later to say this, but their singer at times reminds me of Tom York way too much, because like just specifically like they sound so much the same. Like I feel like if he was covering a Radiohead song, it would work almost perfectly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be curious to know if he has. Yes, like just like that same high pitch.
He sounds more like a natural singer than Tom York.
Yeah,
to me.
True. Tom kind of feels like
he's just like wailing sometimes, which like which like I like because it's kind of like a rough around the edges approach. The singer in this band is like very clean. So.
His name is Devon.
Yeah, Devon or Devon or something like that. It's Devon, isn't it?
Yes, but his last name's impossible to So
Yeah.
I said we're not even gonna try.
It might be some like French Canadian name.
But yeah, like it's a good opener track. We're gonna say this a lot, but like this shit could have been a radio hit. Like that song specifically, like they could have radio edited even the ending off. You know what I mean? You know, some songs have radio edits.
That would piss me off because the ending is like my favorite
shit's
part of
good.
the song.
Yeah. So let's talk about Favorite Boy, which I'm sure is both of one of our favorite songs.
Top 2 for me.
All right. So like, why do you like it?
It is the most up tempo and like has like the, I hate this word, jaunty, but the jauntiest rhythm.
What the fuck does that mean?
Just like upbeat.
Oh, okay.
Kind of. Like it's a very danceable song. Like for like an indie like rock or like indie pop group. Like this is a very danceable song. And I don't know if this reference will make sense, but like it has like kind of a disco rhythm to it. Like the music doesn't sound like disco, but like I don't know. Like it's like very persistent.
I'm trying to play it in my head right now.
And the song never lets up either.
No.
Like it's very consistent. This track it begins with like wobbly chorus soaked guitar. It's like a very 90s effect.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of late era Death Cab for Cutie. I don't know how familiar you are with them.
I am not. I'm sure someone listening is though.
They were a great band. I think like the best part about this song is the multi-layered harmonies that come in like during the choruses. It's just so epic and like loud.
It like pushes those lyrics like up over the edge. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Also, like the bass line is really fucking groovy. We were talking earlier, like you can hear all the instruments very cleanly. That's the first thing I noticed, like when writing notes down for it. I'm like, it's so like funky and groovy, and like it can kind of go hidden, like between like all the other instrumentation, like later that gets like snowballed in. That shit's really good, and like how you said the vocal harmonies, they're like really light and crisp. It's really nice. One of my favorite moments in like music in general is in this song because the bridge is so fucking nice.
Is this where like the synthesizers come in like real heavy?
And he's just like standing in the red moonlight girl. That shit, like you said, that shit's so epic. It feels like an indie anthem, I guess. Like this shit gets like just really loud. I look forward every time when I play this song to hear that specific fucking part. It's so great.
I can't remember exactly if like the synthesizers that are like on this part are like prominent on the other parts of the song. But like when it hits that bridge, like right before the now we're here in the red moonlight, where he's saying like I don't know what's happening over and over again.
Yeah.
Those synthesizers are so like fuzzy and like loud. Like they overtake the mix, but like it's like a really cool production choice. Yeah, this is a great song, man.
Dude, I knew listening to this record, cause I mean, like you said, I played it for you. I'm gonna give you a little taste. I'm gonna give you a little taste of what's to come.
This was like the one spoiler that we both knew that we liked this song.
For sure. Didn't you fucking text me about this record at one point? And you were like...
I think I was drinking one night and like I played it and I was like...
Bro, this song's good.
Damn, dude. Favorite Boy is like a fucking banger.
Yes. But we'll talk about it later. You're like, damn. Well, yeah, but it's a good song, man. Like, it kind of encompasses the record's vibe pretty heavy. Like, it's a good song. It's like hard to talk about this shit without listening to it.
That's like all music.
It's hard not to talk about this shit and be like, I need to hear it right now. Because like I get so giddy about this song. Like I just want to fucking listen to it. It's so great. Every time it comes on, I'm never upset.
I think this will like definitely be a track that will be in regular rotation for me.
Or we'll be listening to it later for sure.
It was really hard not to talk about this album because some people might know that we record in 2-week intervals. And then like this time we had to like take an extra week. So might have thrown us off our game a little bit. I don't know.
We had to give we both said earlier that we had to put the album on like
a hiatus for a little bit.
Like take it off the burner for a minute. Like we had wore it out like on the way up to like recording and we were like, oh shit, we had another week. We both listened to it again multiple times in the last day or two. So like we're pretty fresh on it again. Next song is Flesh and Blood, which is like a little bit different of a song.
It's a departure for sure.
Yes. So this song is like another song that like kind of starts off with like that acoustic, where like that acoustic like really shines through a little bit. You know, like it's kind of like the root of the song.
Well, like it briefly starts with like electronics and harmonies for like a couple seconds. And I'm not going to lie, I think that this is where the lull in the record for me starts a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I hate the song because this is a very catchy track. But like my interest goes down a little bit.
Yes.
For like the next couple of songs.
No, we share the same sentiment.
Yeah?
Yeah, no, like, no, it's a good song. And there, like you said, there's lulls. And, like, we both agreed this ain't no fucking masterpiece. But, like, we can appreciate some of the parts of the song. The piano.
It's the standout.
It's, like, this is where I feel like the piano, like, really starts to, like, takes its place in the record a little bit. Because there's, and the piano's littered through other songs as well. It's kind of like some parlor room shit.
I was trying to think of the word that would describe that. I was thinking like a bar in the Wild West or something. Yeah. Like very upbeat, like very like major key type stuff.
Yep. Major key, like DJ Khaled. Sorry. Sorry.
Damn it, Austin.
Sorry. We'll just skip over that.
I think my indecisiveness towards the next couple of songs comes from I don't really like optimistic, strummy acoustic stuff that much.
Yeah, I want to feel some sad shit.
Some pain, bro.
I agree.
But I mean, this is a good tune. Like the chorus is really good where he's like talking about the lines in the sand and like there's this portion of the end of the song where like the piano really comes in like harder than it did before. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. You're fucking air pianoing right now.
I'm hearing it in my head.
Like
I can't help but hear it, yes.
That part's really sweet, actually.
It's fucking parlor, bro. Like, I mean, I feel like I just got a goddamn haircut in the 60s or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't... You know what I mean? Like,
the 1860s.
Yeah, it's just... It's fucking... It is what it is, man. It's not a bad song. But yes, it's really upbeat and like... A part of me is like... After like a favorite boy and then again, I'm like, give me some dark eyes shit. Like, give me some sad shit. Give me some heavy synthesizer stuff. But...
We only get that in like bits and pieces on this record.
Yeah, I know. Like, I really... Also, it doesn't really fit the tone of the fucking album cover now that I'm thinking about it.
Piss break.
Technical difficulties.
That's it.
Brockhampton reference if you know, you know. Black Diamond, bro. We both are going to want to skip over this one fast, I'm sure.
You're not crazy about this one either?
She gives me like some Barry Manilow vibes, for real.
I was thinking this sounds like a 70s ballad.
Yes. I remember you. Yeah, just that piano, like some Elton John shit. Like
It's got like a very sentimental kind of sounding like melody to it. It's like
and there's like strings give it that vibe as well.
I do like some of like the jazzy acoustic chords that are plucked in the beginning, like before that extra instrumentation comes in. It sounds like something I would play on guitar, but I don't dig the 70s ballad thing that much.
No, I don't think... I mean, the song's like about like seems like a reconciliation kind of song. I feel like tonally, this band could achieve like crazy heights. Instrumentally, they're like fucking amazing. If they could just like let loose a little bit and like kind of bring in like a little bit more like heavy...
Well, like experimentation?
Yeah, that's the word. Like if they would like pull like a little bit more of an experimental vibe, it would fucking cement them as like maybe one of my favorite bands of all time. Because if they could, not to say every band should be like Radiohead, but like they could pull that shit off and like make it unique for them. Because like there are times where I'm like, damn, that can be a Radiohead song if you would just add a little oomph after that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like you're on the cusp of the beginning of a Radiohead song and you're not like full sending. You know what I mean?
You know the song 21 Gun Salute?
It's a great fucking song.
I wish they would make stuff more like that on like a regular basis with like the synthesizers and the electronic drums.
That's what I'm thinking. Like if they could litter in that shit and replace it with shit like this, keep Favorite Boy and stuff like that, this shit could have been like a 10 out of 10 record.
Yeah.
Because it would have like created like some different tonal shifts, more experimentation, variation, and like instrumentation. That would have been really nice.
Because they're clearly good at writing like pop tunes. Like, they can do the upbeat stuff really well, but this record relies on it a little too heavily.
It probably sucks in their eyes too, like that they maybe haven't like broke through a little bit. So maybe like they're writing a plethora of things like this to just see what'll stick to the wall. The other thing is that like after this you get fucking like Yanni's song, which fucking slapped and is so much different.
Do you love Yanni's song?
I do. I like it a lot.
This track contains both some of my favorite moments and some of my least favorite moments at the exact same time somehow.
All right, explain that to me then.
It suffers from the same problem that like Flesh and Blood does during the choruses. This is more of a taste thing for me. Like I don't like the optimistic, like Lumineers sounding like acoustic stuff like that, really.
Yeah.
And it has that plucky, like dun 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 dun, kind of like acoustic guitar, and it's catchy.
I really like that because it sounds like a bar song almost. Like you know what I mean?
Like everybody would like sing along to it in the bar. Like
yeah. Like
maybe they should have gotten some like gang vocals on this, like 10 people singing it at the same time or something.
Like this shit's really close to being like a song. Kind of like, it's a weird comparison, but kind of like reminds me of like Alice's Restaurant in a way. Do you know that song? Fuck, I'll play it for you.
Who's
later.
it by?
I don't even fucking know. I just know it because it's like a party song.
I probably do know it. But
Alice's Restaurant. You know, fuck, you'll know it when you hear it.
That didn't sound familiar
But
to me.
It sounded like a bar song, didn't it?
Do white people go crazy for it?
Oh, I'm sure. If you're over 40, you know that song.
Is it like Don't Stop Believin' and Sweet Caroline?
Not like
that kind of white people song?
Close. More
Okay.
like dirty white people song. Not like dirty, like sexual, like you filthy mutt kind of song. But like this, I like that plucky shit. I feel like maybe like I like to know that he can do it, but his vocals don't really match.
You don't think so?
He could have really like nailed this shit if he wouldn't have like dragged out his lyrics and lines. Like, here we go. Let me find you one where I'm thinking, it's late at night and I shouldn't be, and I call you from the city. Like, don't hang on that. Like, let it be, because it doesn't match the fast tempo of the plucking. You know what I mean?
I agree.
The shit, because then it kind of sounds kind of corny. You know what I mean? But I like the instrumentation a fucking lot.
I think the standout of this song is when it goes into the chorus and like the plucky stuff like drops out for a second. It's not a cappella, but it does sound like very cinematic because you're doing the the maestro hand gestures right now in front of me.
I'm hearing this shit so vivid in my head.
And then once again, it's because the vocal harmonies are so good on this record. And you have this like acoustic guitar that comes in and it's plucked really, really fast behind everything. And it's got that like romantic kind of like Spanish sounding aesthetic to it.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Some mariachi shit, bro.
That part is so sweet.
Yes.
But when it switches between plucky, optimistic versus to like a formless, atmospheric chorus, like the juxtaposition is like fucking weird. I don't know.
Fuck, I kind of like it though. It's
like
different.
It's sweet
Yes.
they tried it. Like I mean,
Yes.
I can't think of any other song that does this.
He has such an optimistic voice. Sometimes it doesn't fucking work. I hate to like fucking bash on them a little bit, but like
No, we're not shitting on
no,
them.
but like I have such a bittersweet feeling towards the record because it's like I want more from you, but like I don't want you to be a fucking copycat, man. Like, you know, it's tough. It's tough for artists to find like a unique but also like authentic sound. I mean, it's tough. Then they get like, you can get fucking labeled as a fucking copycat, and I mean that shit's tough.
Yeah.
They're trying, and it's a small band.
They succeed a lot too.
Yeah.
I mean, like we're not shitting on them.
I'll fucking shit on 'em, bro. Let's do it. This shit's ass, man.
Piss break.
Had a small technical difficulty there, Getter. That was scary. I was worried.
That's okay. At least we caught it early. At
Yeah,
least
at
we're
least
not on
we-
like track 9 and go, oh, we're not recording anymore.
And pull like a fucking all our first fucking
Oh my
podcasts.
God.
We're like,
Don't remind me.
all right, man. Well, we just went like on a big tangent, but we lost it.
Well, we were going to talk about the track Razorblade, which
Yes. You mentioned that I had an intuition about you, and you do indeed like this song.
yeah, this song is awesome. And I think it's it's my favorite song on the record, probably.
Okay.
It's different from everything else that came before it. Structurally, instrumentally, vocally, lyrically, a lot of E's, a lot of Y apostrophe S's. This song starts with like an atmospheric beginning. Devin is singing over this like very ethereal instrumentation. And then these acoustic guitars come in. They have this like Latin flair to them where it's like dun, 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 dun.
I want to hear you ramble on this song. I've been waiting a while.
The bass song on its own, like the foundation is pretty good, even though I'll say that I think the chorus doesn't match the rest of the song like as much, like tone wise.
I just want to hear your opinion. I've been waiting a long time to hear you talk about this. I'm trying to be quiet.
Well, this song is brought up a whole other level because it feels like two tracks like kind of combined. Because you get a fade out for a brief second at the very end, and
it's like after 4 minutes is like when the song shifts.
Yeah, it feels like a bonus track at the end of the song, but it goes into this like weird folk stoner metal like kind of
it's like
instrumentation.
It's very Ben Howard heavy.
Yeah, like a early I forgot where we were. Yes. Ben Howard.
That's what I'm speaking of.
Everything goes like super minor key. And like you get these distorted guitars that come in, which I think is a first for the album.
It's fucking nice. I wish it was littered in other places too.
Yeah, like because they nail this sound really fucking good. And then when Devin comes in like singing, he's got this like despaired yelp to him. Like it hits harder than any other vocal moment on the album, besides maybe like the harmonies on Favorite Boy. And then it doesn't even stop there. Like, when I listened to this for the first time, like I was like kind of shocked because it doesn't match the tone of the rest of the album. And then like it keeps going. There's verses and a chorus on this fucking outro, and it's got these like weird arpeggiated acoustic guitars that like are very Radiohead-ish. And I don't know if you'll get this reference, but it sounds like this band called Oh Brother.
I don't think I've ever heard of them.
They're even smaller than Half Moon Run, probably. They're like signed by Manchester Orchestra's label. They sound like this. It's just such a weird left turn at this point in the record. And I think this is where the uphill slope begins for the rest of the album. Because this fucking Christ, dude. Like,
I'm glad you liked it because when I heard this song for the first time, I'm like, this is some shit Getter gonna like. Like, I'm like, this is up his alley. He like some like droning indie rock. Like,
it's just dirty.
Yeah, like
rough around the edges. I've said that phrase multiple times throughout this podcast. It's what I like.
It's what I like as well.
Rough around the edges.
Dude, you showed me that song by Grizzly Bear, "Sleeping You," last Saturday.
Yeah,
that song is so rough around the edges. It's so dirty and muddy. But also, like, yeah, I agree. Give me some more.
This is fucking awesome.
Yeah, like I like that shit. Like, I appreciate some of that clean shit that they go for on this record, where it's like really well produced and like really bright and clean and crisp. And then you get shit like this, and it's like, don't tease me. Give me some more. You know what I mean? Like, I like that shit.
He even gets to like a point where he's like screaming, sorta. I mean, like for a Half Moon Run,
like you
record,
said, like a yelp.
He starts screaming this phrase. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
And like, I'm with him. This doesn't make any sense on this record.
Yes.
In a good way.
I'm glad. Oh, dude, I waited like 3 fucking weeks for you to fucking comment on this song.
And I don't want to denigrate the first 4 minutes, because like the first half of the song is really good too.
Yeah.
And it even features some of my favorite lyrics on the album, where he says, "Paradise beyond the paywall, people dying to get in, people outside stacking bodies at the gates to get a glimpse." Like, is this about like disparity in wealth or something? Or
my favorite lyric is "face wrapped around a cigarette."
What does he mean by that? Just like
smoking a cigarette, man.
Just like caught up in the cigarette, or like
you suck on a cigarette, like you purse your lips and pull it in. I thought it was just like a good choice of like imagery.
I agree.
Like make you think about smoking a cigarette. I'm like, face wrapped around a cigarette.
And I think where the tempo picks up on that part right there, where they sing about, you know, the chorus or whatever, it's the first time since Favorite Boy that the album gets really up tempo again. So this track kind of has it all. It's got like the down tempo Latin acoustic fingerpick guitar, the up tempo chorus, and then like good 30-minute outro of
some heavy distorted.
It's fucking, like it's progressive kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, this is is like a 10 out of 10 track right here for me.
Vocally on that outro, he reminds me so much of Tom York as well. And also, I don't know if the electric guitar, I don't know if it's got a chorus effect on it, but it's like this really fuzzy / clean guitar, it's a chord and you can hear it bend, I can see it when it happens. And it's fucking that dirty shit I like. That's the shit I like.
I think this is the only moment on the record that reminds me of Dark Eyes, kind of. And nothing on that album even got this heavy.
Yeah, progressive is the word. That it makes no sense. Like, that shit's super epic, but also like droning, fuzzy. I like it.
It's intense, man.
It's fucking good. Also, there's a like classical piece on this record. Excuse me, called Undercurrents.
I
indeed do like this. You know, I'm a fucking sucker for like some cinematic shit. When I heard it for the first time, I'm like, it reminds me of exit music for
a film.
Shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, just really. I mean, obviously, there's no vocals on this, but just having like that cinematic feel. You get a thumbs up in my book. Like, there's nothing to really comment about it, but like this shit's really like melancholic. It's so fucking nice.
I think it's like the perfect companion piece to the song that we just listened to. Mm-hmm. It's like a dramatic cool off.
I have a little insight to my fucking psychology here. I have a playlist on Spotify called Puss Boy, and it is full. Yes. It's funny. I laugh at it every time. It is full of cinematic motion picture film soundtracks. I play that shit. I'm like,
Are you able to explain the name Puss Boy?
Puss Boy. It's for puss boys. When I play that shit, I'm a puss boy. I only say puss boy because I feel like such an emotional piece of shit when I listen to it. I have fucking Manchester by the Sea fucking soundtrack and like The King and like Anakin's betrayal from Revenge of the Sith and like shit like that. I'm like, You really want to know what gets me crying, boys? Is Kung Fu Panda 2. Kung Fu Panda 2 soundtracks on that shit. That shit makes me weep, bro. Not literally.
I feel like this ain't the first time we talked about that.
Kung Fu Panda trilogy, best trilogy of all time. It tops Lord of the Rings, in my opinion.
Bold statement.
I'll fucking die on a hill for Kung Fu Panda, bro. I don't give a fuck who you are. I'll fucking go toe-to-toe with anybody on Kung Fu Panda.
I've never seen him, so I can't even challenge you.
If I can get you to watch Kung Fu Panda 1, I'll get you to watch Kung Fu Panda 2 on the podcast. That shit destroys a grown man. Enough of my sentimental bullshit. Jello on my mind. I'd be interested to know your opinion on this. Because to me, it's not my favorite song on the record, but like it's actually like one of my least favorites.
This is my least favorite song on the album.
Okay, good. All right, we're on the same page.
It doesn't come from like it being a bad song, but it does not fit.
No.
Even if they could have placed it anywhere on this album, and I don't think it would have fit.
This shit is like some prom shit.
It feels like a meme. Like they made a meme and like just put it on the album, kind of like an inside joke or something.
Yeah, it's like kind of drawing comparisons between like, it's called Jello on My Mind. It's like, it's about like sex.
That's what I thought it was. I don't know if it is.
Well, there's a quote by the lead singer on like on Studio 211. It's actually at the top of that Genius thing. If you see it, scroll to the top, you see it right there underneath the song, right there on the top. It says
it's about your favorite adult activity
and your favorite childhood snack. It has like that oldies vibe to it, and it's like I don't like it.
I feel like the musician wise or like musical sense, it doesn't match the rest of the album. And you're right, it does have like kind of an oldie like dun has like kind of like progression to it.
It has that Paul McCartney grandma shit, in the words of John Lennon.
I didn't think about it, but you might be right. Yeah,
it's some grandma shit, bro.
It sounds like a joke song to me, like saying like, I've been waiting to pick you up. It only cost me a couple of bucks. You're sweet as can be. What can I do to get you inside of me?
Yeah, that made me turn my head when I listened to it. I'm like, huh? What'd you say? I think it's referencing to eat Jello, but also like,
what? Yeah, what?
What? What'd you say?
Like the tune itself is not that bad, but the fact it's like a song with like Jello as a euphemism for having sex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bro, what?
That's what I think. Yeah.
You got that Pikachu face? You know,
pretty much, yeah.
Yes, the instrumentation's fine, but like the lyrics are like, huh? What'd you say? I know that like, he's probably having a lot of fun playing the song and like writing it and all that shit.
I think like it would have been fine if this was a one-off single as a joke.
Speaking of joke songs, sorry, I'm going to take a little. You ever heard the, this is a real fucking song that was scrapped on Random Access Memories. It's called Pee is Stored in the Balls.
They should have put this on the album.
It's literally, pee is stored in the balls, in the ball. It's a real fucking song. Oh, it's so fucking funny.
I know what we're listening to after the podcast.
Yes. Dude, I actually had been listening to Random Access Memories this past week. That was my cool off from this record.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking great.
I listened to a little bit of Daft Punk earlier this week too, because I was editing our Daft Punk episode, which I'm very behind.
That's all right.
On editing duties.
No pressure.
Another thing I don't like about the song, I hate jello.
What? You hate jello?
I don't like jello. As like I hate saying this, as a fucking vegan, I don't think I can even eat it. But even when I could eat it.
Oh, I love jello.
Didn't care for it really.
Bro, I could eat like a bowl of jello. A fucking gallon size full of jello.
I always hated when I was a kid because my dad would make jello for us sometimes. And I probably did like it when I was a kid. The whole waiting overnight thing for it to solidify. And when on the song they say, "Why do I leave you alone overnight?"
Oh my God.
Because in the morning I'm like, oh yeah. Right. I don't share that sentiment. It's no good to me.
Okay. Listen.
My tangent. That was my tangent of the episode right there.
Bro, you ever had a jello shot?
Yeah, a few times.
They're like nothing. They have like no alcohol in them. They're a disappointment.
They're a gimmick.
Yes.
Well,
okay.
do you like appleberry baby cherry lime?
Lime is the best out of all those flavors. Okay. Enough of the jello.
You probably talked about more of that song than anything else on the album.
Jesus Christ. So, the last song on the record.
It ends on a high point.
Okay, so you do like this song.
Yeah. Do you?
Bro, there's like fucking like an organ, which I do like. It's weird. They don't like, one drawback is like they're using that organ. I'm like, bro, put that shit somewhere else. Like, I'll like keep it here, but like litter that shit in somewhere else as well. Give me some horns. Give me some organ. You can do it. It'll make me happy.
I think this is the song that reminded me of Radiohead more than any other track on the album.
Yes. And for that reason, I'm like, bro, Radiohead uses the organ. Use the organ.
Like, down to the instrumentation, to the vocal line, it's a strong end to the album. The guitar in the song reminds me of U2 a lot.
Yeah.
Like, where it's got that, like, kind of, like, distant, echoey kind of thing going for it. Mm-hmm. I think the guitarist from U2, his name is The Edge.
Mm-hmm. What a name.
Yeah, very dramatic. That's his style, like, reverb and echo heavy, kind of. This is one of my favorite tracks on the album. It's also where Devin sounds the most like Tom York to me. This song sounds a lot like something that would come off of A Moon-Shaped Pool.
So, I'm sure they knew what they were doing. Did this record come out
about 3 years after?
3 years after, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could definitely see it.
I recommended this record. I had to suggest something to you that you hadn't heard and that I could show you because I rely on you for music.
I am flattered, by the way.
Thanks. Well, like, everything that you show me, I'm like, it's either like, I don't vibe with this yet, or, bro, this shit's good. How have I never heard this before? So, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Like, it's like trying to show your dad something. Like, hey, Dad, have you ever heard this before? And it's like, it's either going to be, this shit's ass, or I like it. It's one or the other.
So showing me music is like showing your dad something?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Does that make sense?
I think so.
It's like trying to show a grown-up something that you're into, and it's either like, you're going to ruin this for me, or...
Well, no.
You're gonna
I have a way more open mind. Like,
do you get what I'm saying?
I think so, yeah.
Exactly.
I get it.
Bro,
I get it.
My dad likes 21 Pilots when I went through that era, when I went through that phase of my life, when I was like 16, 17. And then I showed him like their first record, and he was like, what is this? Why are they doing that sound right there? And I'm like,
this is the better stuff right here.
Like, this is good, right? And he's like, I'm like, okay.
I'm glad you showed me this because I was already familiar with their debut. And like, I think their debut is like really fucking solid. And it made me like go and do homework on the rest of their discography. Like, I checked out Some Went Down on Me, which I think this album is better than that one.
You think so?
Maybe.
I like a lot of songs on that record.
I'm not as familiar with that one because I think
we listen to it after this for sure.
that one is a little more all over the place because there's like tracks that like kind of sound like Dark Eyes, and they have tracks that sound like leaning towards what they move towards on this one. You know the track "The Debt" off of "Sun Goes Down on Me"?
Yes,
that song's fucking awesome.
My favorite song on that one, I like "Warm Regards" a lot.
That's a good one.
I like a lot of those first few songs on there. A Garden of Words, is that what? Or
I think so.
Hand in the Garden, right?
Something Garden.
Yes, really good. Yeah, you had to do your homework. I made Alex get her to do homework, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard to suggest music to you because it's like either you've shown me it.
I might have already heard it before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay. I mean,
I did it.
You can recommend whatever the fuck you want for this show, dude.
All right, we're gonna listen to a Fort Minor record.
I think like I might have been lukewarm on some of the tracks on Blemish and the Great Light, but I think the highlights are like the kind of songs that would stick with me for a long time. Because like specifically Favorite Boy and Razor Blade, those two songs are like awesome. I would put them on playlist. I would like listen to them on their own. And then again is really great. Flesh and Blood is pretty good.
Yeah.
And New Truth, that one's really good too. So those are like the highlights of the record for me.
And then like the other things are probably like middle of the road, which I think we agreed on.
But even on the songs that I don't like as much, there are ideas that I think are good, but like they don't
come to like full fruition.
Exactly. Yeah, like they just don't gel with the other ideas that they're like colliding with. But yeah, I'm glad I listened to this record. I played it a lot in the last 3 weeks.
I know you've been telling me that you've been playing it a shit ton, which like gave me high hopes. Do you have a recommendation, or excuse me, a
grade,
a rating, a grade, a seal of approval?
I'm gonna go with I don't know if you'll think this is preposterous or not, but I'm gonna go with a light 6 to 6.5.
I was gonna say 6 out of 10. I was gonna lean towards 7, but I feel like 7's a little generous.
7 is the score that you gave to Abbey Road, so I'll never let it go. That's okay though.
Maxwell Silver Hammer, bro, just fucking ruined it for me.
I love that song.
I skip that song anytime.
I'll play it on repeat tonight.
That's some fucking parlor shit right there. Fuck it. I hate it. I feel bad for giving it a 7 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is...
Opinions change, bro.
It sucks because, like, that shit grows on you.
For some records, 2 weeks is not enough time.
Bro, it took me, like, a month to like Radiohead. Like, listening to In Rainbows. Like, I had to listen to that shit a lot before I'm like, I have awakened. My third eye is open. Like, shit like that. You know what I mean? So...
But hey, you like it though.
I already know what you're fucking suggesting, you fucking piece of shit.
No, you don't. You have no idea. What is it, Austin?
Well, okay, let me just preface.
Give me a hint.
I tried to take a guess at the bar, and I was wrong.
It's not 22 a Million by Bon Iver.
And I thought for fucking sure. I don't want to be wrong again.
What is it?
Is it Modest Mouse?
Nope.
Fuck! Shit!
Thank God you didn't fucking guess it.
Shit! I wanted it to be Modest Mouse so bad.
Really?
Bro, I've been listening to Modest Mouse.
Damn. Well, maybe that'll be the next one.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing. What is it?
Okay, so the following artist, it's going to be an album. It's a artist that kind of rose to fame in the last 3 or 4 years. He's the self-proclaimed left-wing Hades. He's the black Brian Wilson. He's bald-headed like Maven with little status. It's JPEG Mafia.
Oh, shit.
All my heroes are cornballs.
Okay. I've heard this record.
A little bit of it, right? Or the whole thing?
I've listened to the whole thing. I have not listened to this record in a long time, though.
It's one of my favorite records from 2019.
God damn, you're trying to give me a bad trip on this one.
It's
shit. No,
honest to
it's,
God, this has been something I wanted to talk about for a long time.
I know you hold this near and dear to your heart.
Oh yeah.
So, okay.
I'm
kind of hyped. We haven't done a rap album in a while, I feel like. So this will be fun.
Since Common.
Damn, yeah, this will be fun. Mm-hmm. He's in like that underground limelight right now, so I'm hyped to. We've been talking about what's their name?
Death Grips.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
They go hand in hand a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
All right. I'm hyped. Yeah. Pleasantly surprised. All right. Fuck. I'm off though. I gotta get my intuition back though on you. All right, dude. So we're gonna listen to.
I'm trying to throw you off.
JPEG Mafia. All my heroes are cornballs. All right, dude. That sounds fun.
Sweet, dude.
All right.
I'm ready.
All right. Well, then until next time, brother. Adios.